Oh, what's going on, guys? Just get some more news going on. So, I've heard. So what's been happening now is for baseball, all the spring facilities are going to be closed because some threats of a second wave are happening. So we know that. So we during all these proposals, like what today we want to do is go over like the one mystery about this whole thing, and that is trades or waivers. Like, what do I think will happen with trades, and what I will probably happen. It's like what I think is gonna happen is with trades, it might just be no trades. They're probably gonna have to do that. Probably say you're going with who you got in your organization. That's it for the season. They gotta be strict on trades. It's not because nothing other than safety reasons because of the coronavirus. So like, I mean, here's examples like you don't know if this person's tested positive. You don't want to take a chance, then you can get your whole team like tested and all your best players have to be out for 2 weeks because they're in quarantine. So like, you don't know what's going on. It's like trades. I don't think are gonna happen. Simply only because of safety reasons. So like, what I think is gonna happen is like soccer. They do their transfer window. They have like a 2 week window. They can do all their trades, like maybe add people. Soccer doesn't do trades, but I'm saying what I think is gonna happen with baseball would be like a transfer window, like before they start even like the preseason like exhibition phase. What I feel like they're gonna do is probably just give everyone like a 2 week, like a 1 week window, just 2 week window for like on any trades and free agents. And then we're also gonna have to discuss free agents too, because what if there's a free agent that hops around? It's like trades. I don't know. It's probably gonna have to be. It's probably gonna have to be a transfer window. So like you'll get like 2 weeks before like a week before the exhibition. You can do any trades you want. Make sure they have so they don't bring something. And after that, that's it. No more trades. Like free agency is gonna be a little more lenient. I probably think because. But here's the thing with free agency: that you might not your full guarantee for at least for the seasons like. I can't release just like if you want to bring and get a new free agent. So like, what I think it's gonna be, it's like after a certain period, it's gonna be frozen free agency. It might be a little more lenient because you probably get like you can't like jump from the Angels or go to the A's. It's and then like when they players have like three options in their career, nope. And no, there isn't gonna be a minor league this year. So like. Probably gonna be like 30 to might be the full 40 man the whole way. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. At least 40. It's gonna be the full 40. So what's gonna happen probably is it's probably be around like 50 guys. So the DL probably gonna be a 15-day, and then out of seat, and then rest of the seat like an injured reserve. That's what. It will no 10-day DL this year. It's gonna be a 15-day. So like, probably just send you home. Probably be more like a 16 days. Like, so if you're sick, if you have any symptoms, it's automatically 15-day DL. It's like probably 50 people. So like. 10 active. There's like 40 active and then 10 inactive. Injury can change that too, but. Or what else I'm thinking is you could get your full Major League and your full AAA. Because they could probably do that, maybe. So what's probably going to happen is a lot of these AAA people, they're going to win out, really, because like, they're going to have more opportunity. This is a AAA. So what I'm probably the most practical reason is, but this was one downside of this is social distancing because there's still might be problems with that. I'm saying that might be the smartest idea. Like have at least 65 people in the dugout. That might not be safe. Or maybe like what's gonna happen is pitchers don't show up. What I think would happen is if like the pitcher who's not pitching, they can't be in the dugout that day because just for keep the distancing, like pitchers. So pitchers would just stay in the bullpen the whole time. Like the only people in the dugout are gonna be position players, and even once they're done, they just go to the pen. It's just for safety. Unless you're like in Tampa, because Tampa you just be in the out, you just be chilling in like the seats, because I don't even know if they're gonna play in Tampa, because I'm just thinking the seats. Cause it's foul pole, and then Oakland's gonna have a problem with that. So like Oakland, those are the only people you probably will see in the seats. I'm thinking just because the distance. Pitchers would be up there, position players in the dugout. The one who pitched the day before, and they already know they're not gonna go. They cannot. They're allowed to not show up, and then just be with the family. Cause free agents, they can't be released. They're guaranteed to be on the roster. And they're fully guaranteed this year, so like it's normally it's like no sending down this year. So what I'm thinking, it probably will be around 65. How many people on the AAA roster? I'm gonna check that right now on my phone. How many people on the AAA roster? So like they're all 25, so it'll probably be 50, but you're going to cover all the 40. You're going to have around at least maybe closer to 65, just so in case injuries occur or someone gets the flyers. Pitchers and position players are probably going to have to be separate. So here comes a conflict now. So, and this is where the designated hitter is going to come in. So this is the good side with designated hitter now. So then the pitchers don't bring something back to position players, because that would not be good. So this is why I think they might also be doing permanent DH for league-wide. Because pitchers would all just be chilling in the bullpen, even if like once they're done, they're not going to go to the dugout. They're just going to go to the bullpen, probably just because safety. Or even in the stands, because like the Rays, sadly, don't have like all of them have locker rooms for pitchers. It would have to be like 65, just probably like a 30 active, and then maybe some like inactive, but they'd all be like the inactive players could just like fill up the crowd maybe. That could at least help build some crowd noise. No families, sadly. Maybe playoffs would all be in Texas. It's crazy, but free agency, the league hasn't thought this deep. They haven't even got to free agency, so it's probably gonna have to be a transfer window. Trading's gonna have to be like 2 weeks before the season. Just you're not gonna throw them on the disabled list right after you trade them, because then it's like 2 weeks. Like, it would have to be like halfway though, but trading's gonna be really weird. So it's like, but normally what they do is they trade them. Like, they have to pass a physical, but it's going to get too complicated this year, so, like... And then the antibody test is kind of inaccurate, so, like, we don't know what's happening with that. So it's going to be complicated. It's like, trading will be weird. So maybe an idea to do, like, help with, like, one way... So if you have like a one-way prop, if you can't like trade them, so if you don't want another safe way to help contain this virus is like it could be a one-way trade, meaning you're only one team's gonna send a player, maybe another team can send a draft pick. So like draft picks for the first time can be tradable. So like their slot value. So it could be a little deeper. So like. So I'm saying draft picks can be traded anytime, but player, they're going to probably be 3 deadlines. So it would be player would be like probably before the season. Then player pick would probably be like mid-season, because only one team's kind of taking it. Like, it's not a two-party issue, so it's like one team, but like, and then picks to picks could probably be like pretty much till the postseason, cause like so that like last week, cause like if you want to get like picks at first, and you could get like a couple late round picks, like that could be a good move, cause that could bring some good ideas to baseball. Should allow that, cause like, if you want to send like your first pick for like Acuna, like if the Tigers could have traded like that for Ronald Acuna, I think they would have done it, because they're like worth the same amount of money. But it brings something else to baseball. Like, you're taking more risks. It can make the game even better. So I'm saying they need to do draft picks, because like that's what made the draft so bad. But when you put draft picks in, maybe with like the demise of the minor leagues, like it's like the first pick slot's around $8 million. So like Acuna's making 10. So like that could be a pretty good trade. So like, but no, Acuna's not going anywhere, if you're wondering. Just to help with the trades, because like, trades are going to be an issue. And there's no minor leagues probably, because unless they all did like at their complexes. But now due to the problems that are going on in Arizona and in Florida, that's not going to work. And no, the minor leaguers aren't going to play in high school. They know to prove that. So minor leaguers are probably going to be shut down. Hopefully, like Chris Sale, even like some of these guys know they're not playing, that they don't need it. They're financially secure. Just they need to donate it. That's what they need to do. It's just help like some of the guys injured who have Tommy John should pay, because it's kind of pointless that like the Pirates, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox are paying all this money to players who are injured. So like Chris Sale's still making his normal salary, just prorated. So like what he should do is just donate that whole thing to, maybe take like maybe 1/8 of it and then donate the rest to like minor leaguers throughout baseball who actually need the money, because like they're only making close to poverty. Let those minor leaguers they need somewhat of financial security. Almost as good. They need more financial security right now. And I don't know what are they gonna do about, and then what about contract? It's like, how will players can also ask for deferrals later down the road? It's like when Garrett Cole is missing like $10 million. If it's Garrett Cole, I don't even worry about him. But I'm saying like those Nationals players, like they already have deferrals. And they're already kind of prepared for this too. So like they kind of get a boost. So like the Angels, if anyone's winning these prorated idea, might be the Dodgers, because you don't have to pay Mookie as much. But David Price, he's kind of a terrible contract. Even the Tigers, they have some bad contracts, such as Miguel Cabrera and Jordan Zimmerman. It's like they're well out of their primes. And like Zimmerman's terrible. He's still getting paid $20 million. So I was saying, so even if like they should offer better about draft pick compensations, like especially like with the Dodgers. I'm saying especially with the Dodgers, because what happens if like we actually get the sad news that we're not going to play baseball in 2020, and then like if Mookie goes to another team, like for example, such as like the Mets or the Nationals, they should have to like give up their first 2 picks, like have them give up a pick, and then the Red Sox give up like a high pick just to make some compensation to help their future, because there's no way they're not gonna like they can't like just scrap the trade and null it, because you also have the Twins involved, because like that part's okay. It's like Maeda's kind of done, and that Gradual guy's gonna be pretty good. It's like I'm not worried about that. It's like at least they can like send DP back. It's because it's complicated, but like they also didn't want to take on David Price's contracts. So they should get some compensation in case the sad news has to happen, because there's no season. They gotta be better about it. But here's the upside. I'm like, you don't know, but there's a huge upside with this 60-game season. Because, like, sometimes why baseball... And, sadly, it's already behind closed doors, but... If this was, like, with fans, people would be there a lot. Because, like, the shorter amount of games could bring something good to baseball. So, like, it would make every game mean more. So, like, that walk-off, much bigger deal than before. And what they're also talking about are ties. So what I think it would be is like, maybe that'll be like the Premier League, 3 points per win, 1 point for loss, and then 3 points for a win, 0 for a loss, and then 1 for tie, or maybe 2. So it might even it could stress the meaning of getting a run in, like, the 9th inning. Maybe, like, after the 10th inning, here's also a fun fact. Scoreboards usually only go up till 10 innings, like, especially those minor leagues, so maybe, that could be a smart idea. Make it a tie. They could tie it after the 10th. So you can even be deep, even think a little harder about these bullpens. And the bats are going to be more plate discipline. The game is going to change completely. Because I'm saying, at least for this season, you can make something good out of this because of the sprint of a season. But here's the idea. Playoffs are going to get compensation. Probably best of 3. It'll probably be like best of 3, then 5. Cause it'll probably all have to be best of 3. Playoffs would all be in Texas if it's safe over there, because, like, they're actually kind of lenient, because they're actually permitting fans, maybe. So, like, you heard the story where any of you people have heard what happened with, like, those high schools in Texas. So even when I graduated in 2 years, I said, I wish I could be able to do that, graduating in a major league stadium. I actually kind of got lucky, what I'm saying. Maybe just make, like, Globe Life Field host all 7 World Series games, unless it's, like, the Rangers in the World Series, maybe, like, then let, like, the Rangers and the Astros switch over. Not the Asterisks, not the Astros, because, like, the Astros cheat. So and they're already not letting fans in there, so maybe they should at least get rid of that camera, too. So the only cameras they actually need, maybe, are, like, VR, so, like, people could watch. You put, like, a couple of cameras, like, in the upper level by home plate, so, like, in any stadium, so, like, you go on the website, you get the VR on, so, like, you still feel like you're there. Like, I could have it on my phone. They need to do that for free, probably, but I think they're probably going to charge, but if you can do, like, live VR, it's going to be amazing, because, like, you could do that, like, even if I'm, like, stuck, and I'm, like, too busy to go. Like, I'm too busy because I'm busy with school later on. If they can make that, like, part of the future, that could be a smart idea, even when it's going to take a while for us to be back there physically. They need to do that. So it's going to be a weird season, I can tell you that. Trades they've never talked about it. They should have went over this earlier. It's going to be a point system, but expanded playoffs, I don't think it could work. Maybe what I was thinking is maybe like football. It could just be like football where you add maybe like the 7 seed for football. Like the number 1 seed actually means more than ever. So and then the biggest winners would probably be people who are like number or second in their division. Because like even if it's like 10 teams, you're only playing like the AL West and the AL West, it's still going to be played. You're playing like the West against the East. Like West, Central, and East. So you're not going to go 3 ways. It's like Harper actually had a smart idea, but baseball, like Rob Manfred's just being kind of an idiot because like it was actually a smart idea, but like, baseball, like they all think, oh, it's too traditional because like you need American National League. But if it's like the utmost emergency, you can go without it for a season. Because like baseball is a very traditional sport. Kind of makes that game like a constant. But, like, it's crazy right now. And then I'm worried also, like, if we actually win it, there's going to be an asterisk. So, like, the only team that can have an asterisk on their title is the Astros, because they cheated. But even if, like, a team wins the title the right way, no asterisks. Absolutely no asterisks. And I'm saying also, like, awards, those might have asterisks. Like, that's what's going to have asterisks, not titles. Because, like, someone wins, like, MVP, it's going to not mean as much as, like, it was when it's a normal 162. But, like, then also, like, free agency might be better. Then teams might assess better in this now in the future. So, like, in a shorter stretch, because the playoffs are more like a sprint, and that's when everything really matters. So if someone performs really well in this regular season, the playoffs, they're going to get huge contracts because they know they can perform well in that short, high leverage stretches, and that's what baseball needs. They need something like a sprint. We make the games mean more. Like, whenever you go on the playoff status website, it always says 0 because these games don't mean much. I'm saying, but what about teams that are out? How are they going to do that thing? Are you just going to shut those games down? It's like when Baltimore has to play like Kansas City and they're both out of the playoffs. What are we going to do about that? Like, those fans might lose out, but there's no playoff contention. Really, just be guys like so they don't. Their pitchers are the only reason they would like just not forfeit them. If that was me, like, controlling one of those bad teams, I would have just scrapped all the games and just took a really good pick. But, like, you need revenue, though. That's the problem. And you're not going to get very much if you're out of the playoffs, too. And you're already not getting them because you're behind closed doors. But it's going to be weird, so, like, but I'm thinking it might be all in California because it's, like, 15 venues. You could just, like, or Arizona, but Arizona's a hot spot. Baseball's going to be crazy, so just bring it back. So players just know, as Nike says, just do it. Play some baseball. Give the fans something to at least put some light in their day. This is all mess. Baseball is like the savior. Helps keep people away from all this. So really, at least for me, it helps me get away from everything. So like, you need it right now. Gotta play some baseball. Like, even like, shout out to the Queen for baseball for like letting ESPN televise the games. Here's the one, like, they're doing a good job with it. Just the one downside is nothing offensive against the Korean baseball league. Just they're on at horrible times because, like, well, I'm asleep when they're on. So, like, it doesn't feel right because it's not live. It almost feels like even if you just turn on, it's the same feeling. Like if you turn on a game on MLB TV, one of these old games, same feeling. So what the Koreans should have done is also, they had one game a day. Like, they could do a game like covered intended for the Americans because, like, we need it. Because then they could get a lot more TV, too. They can make more money. It's just one game a day. They can do that. They'll be fine. No, Japan's also returning. I haven't even heard anything about that, but and I heard Addison Russell's over there. Because, like, they failed to sign Puig, but I think Puig made a mistake, and Puig really made a mistake for not signing right now. He's the biggest loser of anybody in this quarantine. Is Yasiel Puig is not getting paid anything. Cause he should have just signed with any team before this. But they froze transactions too, just so like they don't bring anything in. And that's what they're probably gonna have to do all season. So, I don't know where Puig's going. Just be safe. Hopefully there's baseball. Cause otherwise the only baseball I'm getting really is the Korean League or probably playing MLB the show. But I'm out. Be safe.